welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 331. It is Friday night. I'm excited to be here. I am ready to talk about some WoW, and I am also ready to introduce my co-host, as always, John Jagger. Welcome to the show, John.
Hello, Ben! It is Friday night here in Azeroth, and I am more than happy to be joining you here at the Azeroth Roundtable, here in lovely Azeroth.
Ooh.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's seasonal. It's the season that it always is on Azeroth.
Now.
It's whatever zone we're in weather. Ben, I'm super thrilled to be here. But it's not just you and me tonight.
No, it's not.
We have an amazing guest
We
back.
do.
After a while. I think it's been a while.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's been
We
too
have
long.
guests that I feel like we just had back that are like, it's been a while. And so now I'm thinking it's been a while, which must mean it's been a really long time.
It's been a
Regardless,
while.
it's been too long since we talked. Turarts, welcome back to the show.
Hey, I'm so glad to be back. How are you two doing?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I am also quite excited to have you on because it has been a while, and that's my fault. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's okay.
You don't understand how sorry I really, truly am, though.
Ben does the booking.
Usually. Usually.
He's a high-quality booker.
I try. Booker DeWitt, they call me. Anyways, so, World of Warcraft happened, guys.
Yeah,
It did.
it did.
It's been happening for many years, but it also happened now.
Yeah, well, it's funny that you bring up that it's been many years, John, because I don't know if you've, because I know you've had a very crazy week, or two, or five, within the last few, and have been a little bit busy. But did you see that they gave details about the whole 15th anniversary mount and how to get it and everything?
Buy it in the store?
No. Oh my goodness.
It's not. Wait, I thought those like weird stone mounts you had to buy in the store.
Oh, well, maybe those. No, this is something
Or
entirely
are we
different.
talking about the little Deathwing looking one?
The large Deathwing looking one, yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, don't I have to raid? Isn't that what I have to do?
Yes, you
Yes.
do. Turarts, are you super excited for this?
I am so well, you guys know this, but I'm in the event lead for Convert to Raid, and so I'm like, these are going to be events that we get to do, and it's so exciting, and yeah, no, I am stoked for what they're doing this year.
Oh, it's so fantastic. So, John, I understand that you do have to raid for this, and I know that you know that, and I know that you're probably like, oh god, but you might want to do this, because it's not...
No, it's fine, Ben. It hasn't been 15 years for me because I didn't raid. If I didn't raid, it technically hasn't been 15 years. I don't get to celebrate.
Oh,
But those
okay.
who have raided and those who are raiding, it's been 15 years for you, so congratulations. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Good on you. That's a long time. That's a long time to have been playing this video game.
I will say some of these raid tiers do feel like 15 years, but... No, so a special raid is actually coming out with 3 wings, and each wing is a theme. So there's Burning Crusade, there's Wrath of the Lich King. I can't think of the one expansion that everybody loves and it's like, this is the best expansion, I'll kill you if you say otherwise. And then also, what is it, Cataclysm?
I think, yeah, because I think they did those 3, not
Yeah.
Mr. Beyond.
So, and each one has 3 bosses in it, and you have to beat all 3, the entire thing in order to get the really cool Deathwing mount. But John, some of these fights are things that I am so looking forward to actually like getting in there and doing again.
Okay, well, let's break it down. What are you doing?
Okay, so first of all, Turarts, do you know what all of them are?
Most of them, yes. I was looking them up today
Okay,
to plan
cool.
for an event that's still 4 months out, but that's okay.
That's okay. This one might take a little bit of planning. So, okay, you know what? That was actually a trick to buy some time so I can pull up the official list so I don't get it wrong.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
So the first one for Burning Crusade is Kael'thas. Good old Kael'thas, which is going to be a horrible fight.
Cluster.
But I'm looking
John's
forward to
out.
it because I never really did that at level, like legitimately really at level. The only time that I actually ever beat it when I was level 70 was after the Wrath of the Lich King stuff like went through and we were like insanely OP for that place.
How, like, sidetrack for a second, how true to these fights do you think they're going to be? Because that was even going in and soloing that. I was the first dozen times I was like, what is happening with my life right now?
Oh yeah.
Right, because it was like, hey, we've introduced 5 mobs that are just going to CC you for 7 years, and then
the weapons.
Yeah, and you
God,
loot a bunch of
yes.
legendary weapons, use it for one encounter. I don't know. That's a good question, Ben. How authentic is it going to be?
That I haven't read too far into, but if I were to guess, I would say it's going to be probably pretty close, because the other time that they've, brought old stuff back, it's pretty authentic. Like when they did the Molten Core raid.
That was 5 years ago. That's
Holy
hard to
crap,
believe.
it was,
yeah,
wasn't
no,
it?
that hit me today.
Oh, jeez.
All right, get to another encounter, because right now I want to gouge out my
Okay.
eyes. I don't like the Kael'thas fight.
Well, you're not going to like this next one, John. Because it's Lady Vosh.
I like... no,
But
I don't.
Think of all the think of all the coordination with throwing the thing and stuff.
I know. I like it on paper. I like it when it's described to me and I imagine people doing it. I'm like, yeah, they're going to throw those orbs from person to person. It's going to be beautiful. And then I think about being in a group with people that do it and I go, it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. But could be a lot of fun. And then, so the last one for Burning Crusade, which, if I remember correctly, this fight is just like, oh, hey, kill the boss, is Archimonde. Because, I know he punts someone all the way across the area, and then eventually wisps come and kill him. That's all I remember from that fight.
Yeah, that's all I remember too, but I did it way past level.
Yeah, same here. So it was pretty easy.
I don't remember the
end of the
Archimonde
Hydro fight.
I did it near it being relevant content, not when it was. I think I might have done it in Lich King.
Yeah.
With a group where it was you still need a group to get through it, but we were definitely past it content wise.
And we were totally messing around the whole time too.
It's been past it being content that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not the Burning Crusade fights I would have picked. Please continue.
Hold on, I want to know this.
Yeah.
What would you have picked?
I probably would have picked Gruul, Magtheridon, and Kael'thas. I get why Kael'thas is on the list, right? I don't like that fight, but I also kind of get why it's the... Oh no, I would have done Illidan. I would have done Illidan. I would have done Gruul, Magtheridon, Illidan.
We have Illidan with time walking.
I don't care.
But still,
you want to do
it's a way to do it.
Fun, iconic fights.
And you want a cutie in there. Illidan's cute.
See, I would have done the High King, that's the one before Gruul, because of all the different, mechanics and stuff.
I do like that fight.
Yes. Mage tank! Tank!
I mean, maybe doing all of Gruul's lair is kind of ridiculous, but I love that raid so much.
It was fun.
Here's my three bosses. The High King, 4 warriors before you fight Gruul, because as we know, Ben, this pull might be harder than the fight against Gruul himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gruul himself. That would be 4 ogres and then Gruul. I don't know. Everybody has a good point. We already had Illidan. I guess I kind of see that. I'm trying to think what other fight was really great from that time. I don't think Kael'thas is fun. I don't think Lady Vash is fun.
You know what we need?
The
Void
fishing
Reaver.
boss. I can't even remember his name.
The Lurker?
Void Reaver.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the Lurker was good too. Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
Lurker. A Void Reaver would have been...
I like Void Reaver.
is fun.
Void Reaver would have been great.
They didn't do any from Tempest Keep, did they?
Well, other than Kael'thas, no.
Or not Tempest Keep, sorry. No, Kael'thas is Eye of Eternity.
Wait.
Isn't he?
No, that's simple. Wait, shoot. Whatever.
I would have done Magtheridon and Gruul
no,
for
no.
sure.
Yeah.
is my point. I would sacrifice everybody on that list for Magtheridon and Gruul.
Yeah, the Magfed was really fun.
What was the raid where the first boss is you end up going to the void It's all dragons. The dragon dies and then comes back. What's that raid? BC. It's on the island. It's up above the starting stone.
I
always think it's
in the Sunwell. The Caligos fight.
I was surprised they didn't have anyone from Sunwell. That's what I was trying to get at.
You could do Kill Jaden.
That'd be good.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kill Jaden.
Okay. No, the Caligos fight would actually be really cool. I would totally do that one. That was great.
All right. Well, Burning Crusade's a bust. I think they picked 3 bad bosses.
Wrath of the Lich King, you're up next. What do we got?
So, this
odds are pretty good. This is going to be a hard one to mess up. Let's see if they do it.
Okay, well, the first one is probably, if it's not my favorite fight in all of Wrath of the Lich King, it's pretty darn close. And that is Hygen the Unclean.
Wait, which one's
That's
Hygen
the
the Unclean?
dance studio with the slime that shoots out of the ground.
Oh my gosh, I love that fight. Yes, they did a good job. They've done a good thing.
Unless I mixed up the name, I'm pretty darn sure that's the boss.
Is that Hygen, or was Hygen the guy with the live side, dead side?
Oh, crap. Now you're making me...
Because I hate that fight.
Hold on, I'm double checking right now, because...
Look it up.
Jeez. Yes, I had the plague...
Or
I mean,
is he
did
the skeleton guy?
He's not the skeleton guy. He's the...
Oh, yeah, he's the dance studio
dress. Guy. Yeah, he's the dance guy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, perfect. I like that fight. I like that fight.
That is like the perfect one to start on. I love that fight so much.
Burning Crusade? Shit. Wrath of the Lich King?
Just automatically wins.
Off to a good start.
Yeah, okay, and you know what? Sage Time in the chat room is saying that technically that's vanilla, not Wrath, but no one saw it in vanilla, so... they repurposed the entire thing to Wrath.
Anyway, please continue.
Yeah, but regardless, that's where most of the people saw it, because it was the first raid tier. But, that fight is so much fun, and I am really looking forward to it, and I am very curious.
I've never done it at level.
Oh,
There's a lot of fights from that raid I actually really like.
Oh, yeah.
Like, honestly, you could fill all 6 boss slots with fights from Wrath of the Lich King, and I'd be pretty happy.
Next around,
I would love to fight Thaddeus again. I like the Horseman fight.
Oh, the Horseman fight was fun. Yeah. And the way I look at this, too, is that it's going to be really interesting when you go into Hygen, because there's going to be that person who's like, okay, there's one spot that's over here, and I'm pretty sure it's right here. If you just stand here, you're not going to take any damage, because there was one spot where you could just stand, and you took no damage, but guess what? It never works. When you're like at level and you're like, okay, I think I'm on the spot. Okay, everybody stand right here. And then you have like, a crit chicken standing there and you're like, I don't know where the spot is now. And yeah. Oh, it was great. It was one of the most so the dance itself for that fight is really cool. And if you pay attention, it's super easy to do.
Yeah.
Unless you have to stand in one tiny specific spot and never move, and then you will fail 99% of the time.
Why people thought that was a better strategy still boggles my mind. Why someone was like, let's find a weird glitched out part of the floor where everyone will be safe. We can all stand literally on top of each other, and the only thing it prevents us is from having to move back and forth. And then, it goes off and kills 90% of the raid, except for the one person who got it exactly right. And you're like, yeah, this strategy's working real well.
Oh, yeah.
See, you say the dance is easy, but there was that fight, the maze fight, no,
that was impossiple.
I still can't figure out the maze. And people are like, oh, it's easy. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Well, there's a difference between the maze being purple on a purple, backdrop.
That is true. That was...
Yeah, no, that one I usually had a lot of hard time. But no, this is basically there's this giant floor and
with
a quarter of
squares.
it. Yeah, no squares. Just a quarter of the room in kind of a jagged area just go it just shoots up like crap. And then the tank I know that just doesn't work. Then the tank moves into the next area and then just stuff pops up. And then the tank moves to the next area and then the fourth area and then I think they do that twice, and then Hygen teleports onto the platform where all the ranged is, and then they run out on the floor, and then everybody runs, and you have to totally run back and forth, and it's so great. And one of the reasons why I love this fight so much is because way back when John and I were raiding together, we would do this fight, and there's one attempt that took us, because there's no enrage timer, it took us probably a good 45 minutes. Because
Oh my goodness.
everybody died except for a tank, a healer, and one melee DPS. And so the boss is at maybe 15%, and it's taking forever. And they're doing the dance, and they're doing awesome, and it's doing great, and everybody's just cheering them on, except for 5 people are just wipe so we could all do it. But they're getting so close, and they're getting right there. And then all of a sudden, one of them makes a misstep, and they wiped. And it was such a waste of a night. But at the same time, we were you were so close. And we're so excited because they just kept going. And it was this perfectly, precisely tuned machine. Just yeah, this is great. This is great. And then all of a sudden, someone's heel was in the poop, and then they just died. But it was so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It took so long that people timed out back to the graveyard. You have so long to choose to release or not. People were literally timing out forcibly back to the graveyard while they were continuing to fight this boss.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was definitely over 30 minutes, and then they were still fighting for a while. We were just all standing outside. I hope you guys do well.
Yeah. Well, actually, John and I were one of the last people to die. So we were awesome. We actually got to see them wipe, which it was still really sad, but it was awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for Hygen. I'm also very, very curious and excited to see how Furt does with it, because it's entirely have to be situationally aware and know what's going on and when the poop's going to go.
Yeah.
They won't see it. They won't get past Burning Crusade Raid.
I think we'll be fine. I think we'll do it. But anyways, so the next boss, John, you are not going to be nearly as excited about.
There's so many good ones in Wrath of the Lich King. I've just been sitting here being Globulus. I think that was his name. But anyway, the globby guy. Mm-hmm. The dog that eats the zombie chow. He'd be great. That giant arachnid. I even liked that. Kel'Thuzad is actually a really good fight. Mm-hmm. I feel like they should reward us for holding onto our frost resist gear and let us fight that ice dragon again.
Well, John, I'll crash it with just one name. Anubarak.
Oh, I like Anubarak. Oh, shit.
It's the raid version.
The raid Anubarak.
Yep.
What?
Where you fall through the floor, and then you have to...
the frost decays have the thing, and you die.
He's not awful.
Yeah, but of all of the other bosses that it could have been, him?
Not him. I would have picked earlier in that raid, the gnome that brings back the Straxis.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah.
That's the one I would have done.
I would have done that one from that raid.
I would have trolled everybody and brought back the PvP raid fight.
I'd actually be okay with that.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, that would, okay, so I guess back in the day, Tetsemi's team totally didn't exactly exploit it, didn't exactly glitch it, but once they knew how it worked, they got around the whole okay, you can't actually taunt and everything. Basically, the 2 tanks would just take off their armor, and it was whoever had the lowest health is where everybody would attack. So because the 2 tanks are like that, they just got all the heals, and then everybody else would just go through and just wipe everybody else out. Worked pretty well, from what I heard.
Well, that sounds all right, I guess.
Yeah, but anyways, no, I would do that fight before Anubarak personally.
Anubarak, okay.
I do the Vicryl fight, the black and white one.
Oh, I loved that one.
That was so fun.
That was good.
I do the beast before I do Anubarak. I thought he was the worst fight of that raid. That's the problem.
Going against the Horde or the Alliance again?
Yeah.
Okay, Ben. Okay. What's the third boss? It's the Lich King, right?
Oh, yeah, it's the Lich King.
Okay.
Why didn't they put anything? Oh, because everything in Ulduar is available in Time Walking. I just did my whole why not Illidan thing.
Still, that's unacceptable. Yeah, unacceptable.
Final boss is the Lich King, which means that people will actually have to worry about that stupid debuff that jumps around and the Valkyries that pick you up and drop you. Yep. which people
All the things we ignore now.
totally don't even know happens now because I've done
We'll
this
actually
fight
probably
before.
die in the fight. Like when he
Yeah.
kills us and talks about how happy he is he killed us, he'll probably actually do
That'll
it
be
this
pretty
time.
good. Oh, remember the
People
ring
now-
falls apart?
Yeah, as I say, they probably don't even know you have to go outside the ring, kill the frost balls that come at you, and then go back inside the ring. Like,
Here's the problem. I see what people are saying about it has time walking. It has time walking. I
so-
don't think that's acceptable because here's the thing. Time walking is a little window where you have to try to get everybody together and say, okay, let's go in and do it. And
Mhm.
it's not exactly easy or conducive to a real easy to get together group to go and do it. I'm sure there's people that are going to disagree with me, but guess what? They probably play more than me too. I haven't even made it to Mechagon yet. Whatever. I'd love to fight one of the bosses from Ulduar again, is what I guess I'm getting at. And this seems like a good way to do it, whereas time walking, I'm not going to go do time walking
So,
Ulduar.
John, what
No.
you're saying is that people are having a hard, or you have a hard time about just a limited time being able to go and do it and fight the bosses you want to fight. Well, this is going to happen over a limited time where you need to get together and fight the bosses you want to fight.
Well, like I said, I technically haven't been playing the 15 years. Only Raiders have, as we know. So, it's not for me. It's for you Raiders, who are the real World of Warcraft players, not me.
what would have been, I think, a fun trolley boss is if they would have done Alagon the Observer, because that fight is hard.
Oh.
Like, I think
And you have
that-
limited attempts.
Yeah, that would have been like Lich King's great. Like, I'm excited to go take him on again, but I think the Observer would have been a fun one too.
Oh, that would have been insane. That battlefield gets so freaking trippy and just
I still
crazy.
haven't downed him. Like, even going back, it's hard. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm just like, nope, gonna go around.
They
you.
should have picked one of the elemental bosses from the PvP. raid.
Yeah, that would have
Nobody
been
ever
fun.
gets to see them again. They should have done that.
that would have been cool. Like the
Well-
fire one was pretty awesome. I remember really enjoying that one.
Oh, you should have to. One of them should have been that dragon where you pick how many other dragons come and help
Oh
them.
yeah. Oh, that was really cool. The Twilight Drakes. That's where you get that
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah. Man, Lich King really had just a ton of awesome bosses. And
Or
It did.
just
Turarts-
Thorim, just so we can split up and do hallways.
I would
again.
do Thorim anytime. I freaking love that fight. That sounded wrong.
Or Hodir. I like Hodir because you gotta jump on snow.
Yes, and then people are going to complain because they don't know which snow to jump on.
I didn't know what snow. Nobody told me.
You stand by the
Uh,
fire. All right.
I'm frozen. Help.
So, John, I know you didn't really raid during Cataclysm.
Yeah, this is gonna be a list of me going. Okay.
Okay, so the first boss is Cho'Gall.
Oh. Oh.
I didn't really raid much during Cataclysm either. But I know that he's challenging?
I think we may have lost John in the stream. It's buffering.
Oh, no, he's fine.
Okay.
Oh, wait, maybe not.
No, I think we really did.
I thought he was doing his normal, hey, I'm just going whatever. We're just going to keep talking because I got to
Okay.
record a podcast anyway.
Okay.
So
Cho'Gall.
remind me about Cho'Gall. I do not remember how Cho'Gall works.
Okay. So Cho'Gall is in Twilight, and he's the boss, technically the last boss. I don't know how it works at level because I didn't do it either, but I know there's phases, and I know that there's the boss that if you once you beat him, you go down to.
Mhm,
But
yeah.
Cho'Gall, I didn't do at level. I just went in and annihilated him at 110.
Yeah,
It was
same thing with me too.
I know there's phases. I feel like there's ads too that come out from the sides. And I remember healing more than I needed to.
Isn't that kind of what
so.
happens during that raid?
Yeah, it is. That was a hard raid. That was the elementals in that one. I don't know if you remember that fight. I think it's right before Cho'Gall.
Yeah.
But they do 2 at a time, and then they come together for a super elemental,
Yep,
I
they
think.
totally Captain Planet it.
That would have been a fun fight from that raid to do.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that I think it's going to be interesting to me because since I wasn't actually doing the raiding and stuff at level, because Blackrock's Spire. Yeah, Blackrock's Spire. That's where I actually started raiding and everything. That had a lot of really cool bosses in it, which I personally would have actually really liked to see. But I mean, the fact that Cho'Gall is the first one is just kind of like, okay, well,
It's interesting.
He was
kind
of the end boss of that place.
Yeah. Like, they picked a big boss. Like, how are they going to go up from here?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
Did you do Cho'Gall at all, John?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him.
Well,
I think
got
went back and soloed it once.
Yeah. That's what
I
we're
was
saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got 2 heads. One of them's ready. One of them's not ready.
There's some ads.
When he carries a horse, he goes faster than he normally does.
True. It's true.
Fact.
I find that if I invite like maybe a Tychist or a Rainer to my party, it will go better.
Okay. Well, good. That way we know how to beat Cho'Gall in the first boss. Okay.
Yeah.
So the second one, I'm not excited about at all, because I remember having really hard issues with this boss. It's Nefarian.
Oh, that is going to be fun.
Yeah, Blackwing Descent. I mean,
Yeah.
I personally really would have liked the Blind Dragon, because I think that's one of the most creative fights that Blizzard has ever done. But hey, Nefarian's cool. He's a dragon, and you get to fight undead Onyxia, so that's cool too.
It's like a twofer.
Yes, with lava, with liquid hot magma.
God. People are going to die not making it onto those platforms in time, and you have to kill the little ads. Oh my god.
So John, get ready to swim in some magma.
Why are we acting like Cataclysm was okay?
I know. I'm
It's
just
not,
like,
I don't
nah,
like
it's
it.
not.
I'm trying to hype it up. Like, I'm trying.
I know every time I say this, I get so many like tweets and emails that are like, I actually liked Cataclysm. Stop.
First of all,
Let's
you're
get
a
it for
liar.
you.
You started
Good for you.
at Cataclysm or something. Whatever. But why are we pretending Cataclysm was any good?
See, they should have just gone right to Pandaria bosses, because they had some really good ones there.
That would have been... Yeah, they could not do Kata, and they could never do Draenor, and I would be okay.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm okay
The
with
last one is Spine of Death.
that.
Is it really?
I'd actually be okay with that. Mainly because I can solo it. Oh, but with a group, it's... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna be good.
The last one has nothing to do with Deathwing, actually, which is good.
Oh, good. That makes sense because we're trying to get a mount that looks like him. What's the last boss, Ben?
The last boss is Ragnaros.
Okay, I'm okay with this.
Okay. That's the first one I'm like...
Like, okay.
With legs or without?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if there's a heroic mode. I'm guessing so, because there's 2 color variants on the Deathwing mount. Like, one of them looks like Deathwing, the other's like darker and edgier, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
But-
I don't know. Are they going to let us do, like, LFR? And are they going to, like, is there one that is, like, a charity one? Like, because I've been kind of a dick about it, but I do kind of mean it. Like, it's 15 years for everybody, not 15 years for people who raid. So maybe it might be nice to include everybody in the celebration instead of a select few. So is that something that they're going to offer, or is this only going to be for people who can actually form up a raid group? And get through it?
Let me try to answer that question while I look that up.
I think it's a group, but I think you can do like customs, so like you'll have that option. But I haven't seen talk of like an LFR. I think it's like Molten Core was. You have to have a pre-made.
Well, that sounds fun.
I might be wrong, but from what I've looked, I haven't seen an LFR
Let's
option.
see. Some of the Wrath and Cataclysm counters have special heroic only phases to them. Oh, that's great.
I'm wondering, because if you remember Molten Core, you had other stuff you could get. Like you could get toys, and there was that pet that I have that every now and then I'm tempted to sell, but I won't.
Yeah, hate Spark.
Yeah, I'm just curious if they're going to have any of those little things in there.
Well, John, the event wings are listed under the same category as Time Walking Raids, so presumably they'll use the same system and not LFR, which was used for the 10th anniversary Molten Core event back in Warlords of Draenor.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I think honestly, my point still stands. I think that there are times when you can do an event that feels like a celebration of your game. That's for all the people who play your game. And look, here's the reality, because I already know there's going to be people that are like, well, John's just mad that he's not going to get one. I'll probably get one. I know plenty of people who raid. It's not going to be hard for me to get one if I decide to do it. But I am sitting here thinking, like, it's the 15-year anniversary, and one thing that has been kind of universal to my thoughts and opinions on this show, and continues to be my thought and opinion, is that there's a lot of different types of people who play World of Warcraft. It's not just for people who raid. And raiding might be what they have decided at Blizzard is their flagstone, main achievement, and pinnacle of content that they want to see people go through. And it is a good social aspect, and World of Warcraft is a social game. You're supposed to do it with other people, so I can definitely see the appeal there. But this is a celebration for your entire audience, not a select subset. And when you do something like this, you do give off a vibe of this is for a very specific group of people. And I don't think that sits particularly well with me personally, but it's a cool mount. I'm sure people will have fun with the activity, and I guess that's it.
Well, I mean,
but it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth,
overall,
if I'm being honest.
I have a feeling that, you're probably just going to jump in with us or one of the many other people that you do know, and you're probably going to enjoy some of it. Some of those bosses, personally, I don't find as much fun as others. But whatever, I want them out. I think it's cool, so I'm going to do what I can to try to get it. But that being the point, though, John, what would you recommend for some sort of activity that would actually, be there and be potentially enjoyable for the vast majority of players for WoW?
I think exactly what I kind of thought maybe it would be. I mean, it's not maybe necessarily the most ideal, but I think having a mode where literally everybody can get in and queue for it and get them out. Whether it's like maybe they get, because we all know it exists. We don't like to acknowledge it. But maybe they get the shitty mount variation, right? Like they get the one that just looks a little crappier than the others. But
like Deathwing's jaw just kind of hanging open the whole time, like
right,
like they didn't bolt it in correctly or something.
But at least something that says like, hey, we recognize that you're part of this game and you're part of this community too. But and maybe there's enough other stuff, because I do know about the mounts. I do know about the mounts you can buy in the store, but I don't know a ton of what else they're doing, and I do know they're doing other stuff around it. Yeah. So maybe there's enough content there, but the thing that they're plastering all over everything is this mount, and it's definitely the like, this is the thing, this is the thing. And to put it behind content that's limited time content for people who can get the group together and do it, I just don't think is genuine to your audience. So if I were doing it, I would offer a mode that gets the cool thing, or at least a version of the cool thing for everybody. And maybe have additional extras for the people that can want to go above and beyond with it. Because, why not? They should have access to that. They got the group together, they put in the work. I don't think necessarily that should disqualify you from, getting something cool, but a lot of people play this game, and it's not always people that can find a group of people and go on raids. So
what if instead of and I don't know how, I'm not even going to pretend to know if this is an easy solution. Same mount, but different ways besides raiding to achievement. Because there's some pet battle things that I can't do because it's really hard. PvPers, I feel like, always get shafted in anniversaries because I haven't ever seen a prize for a PvP.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
They said, they're bringing Wrathion back? Is that
maybe?
I heard something about that too with classic Wrathion mounts. I saw something, but I didn't dive into what the specifics were for it. I saw PvP and I was like,
that's what I did.
Yeah, I saw the new Frostwolf mount that looks beautiful, and I didn't read how to get it because I'm like, ooh, that's it.
So I would be okay, and this is, I'm below casual. I don't know what that is, but I'm below casual when it comes to playing WoW.
Flippant.
But I would be fine. That's a good word. I would be fine. Okay, you get this by rating, but here are 5 legendary pets from one's Wrath ones. You beat all of these, you can get the mount as well. It has nothing to do with pet battling, but you still get the mount. Or here's some PvP random. I don't know PvP enough to create a quest off the top of my head, so
you have to PvP a lot.
Do some PvP stuff.
Yeah,
knock
PvP
them
all
boards
over
on
the
their
place.
butts.
exactly.
I don't know.
Spell your name
But
out with PvP.
Would have no problem because I collect pets, but I have very little 25s, so I'm gonna be like, good for you for leveling up those 25s in the perfect combination to go destroy this person.
Why, thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Definitely been.
Yeah. No, I really think that that's, a more inclusive way to go is, I mean, it could even be the same mount, like you were
I'd be
saying,
fine with that.
it's just, or you could do like, okay, well, I can only do the first wing of the raid thing, but I can beat these 2 pets over here and then run that PvP event, or,
Something
just basically getting people back into the game and then just experiencing it.
like John said, I feel like over the years they've done better at including more in the game for different people. Like there are people who literally log on to Pet Battle. That is it. That's all they do, and I love you people because I give you my prizes when we have our anniversaries and you love them. But I feel like they could do a better job at diversifying how they celebrate these 15s and 10s because it's been just here's a raid and here's a raid and
Yeah,
here's
because
a raid.
now when Molten Core did come out, obviously they had the pet that dropped, which was nowhere even close to like even a 1% drop.
No, it was small.
I was super lucky that Accusod actually gave me his pet that dropped, which I still am like, thank you, because I mean that thing goes for so much on the auction house. But with that, they had the Core Hound mount, and you had to actually beat Molten Core to do that, and that was one of those things where it was kind of rough because you needed the 40 people to go in there and do it, and finding the 40 people was, I mean, that's what it was back in the day, so they just had it the same way. So, I'm kind of wondering, are they going to have a 10-man version of these 3 raid wings? Are they going, or only a 25-man? I mean, who knows?
I hope and I probably won't, I hope they do a flex. So if you have 13 people,
That'd be great.
you can still do it. Or if you have, like, was it 30 the max you can have in normal? Like 10 to 30, take however many you can, we'll tune it to you, go have fun. I hope. It won't.
And I would hope that it's tuned down a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Molten Core was too, if I remember correctly. Like,
a bit.
It was not, I mean, and
like, as a fire mage,
too.
I could throw fireballs and actually hurt things.
Right, like there's
don't.
a level of tuning to it. And look, I'm not trying to make my argument like it's the end of the world that they've decided to do this. I think when they did Molten Core, I probably didn't have the same argument for the Core Hound, though I still would say the same thing.
We didn't do a show then, were we? Oh,
Yeah,
no, we
well,
were.
Yeah,
Never
for the
mind. I don't know what I'm
anniversary.
talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like, God, we've been doing this a long time.
But the thing is just I don't know. I think right now the reason it's hitting so hard is because I do think that my head is very much in that space. Like, as I look at my criticisms and my feelings for Battle for Azeroth, so much of what frustrates me about this expansion is this feeling of, you will play this game Blizzard's way. And, like, we have a vision for how we want you to go through the content and how we want you to see it and how we want you to experience it. And we expect you to do mythics and we expect you to do some PvP and we expect you to turn on war mode and we expect you to do this. And there's just so many things where I get on paper, like, as I'm saying it like a dictator. You will do this. And I think probably in the boardroom, it was more of a, yeah, we've got great content and we want people to see it, a very positive outlook on it. But the way it feels to a player is it feels oppressive. It feels like, no, you're gonna do this. This is how you play World of Warcraft.
Well, that's...
I'm so sick of that. And so having them come in and say, celebrate WoW by doing this one thing. That's the only way you can celebrate 15 years of World of Warcraft. And it's like, really? Because, like, I mean, honestly, if they wanted to do something crazy cool, here's what I would do. As established by us sitting here and talking about it, this is probably too much work. Usually when we come up with ideas as fans, it's way too much work. And that's exactly what
Usually.
this is. But we've been sitting here talking about, oh, this boss would be cool. Oh, this boss would be cool. What if you bought the mount with tokens, and they scaled all the former raid bosses. You could go in and collect tokens from them, and you could rerun any raid from
that'd be
WoW's
cool.
history.
That'd be fun.
Scaled. And you could say, I'm going to go do Magtheridon. I'm going to go do all of Gruul's Lair. And you come out and you're like, I got 3 tokens. And, you know,
Only
it
247 more to go.
no, it costs 9. Let's be clear. We're going with the number that they've established. It's 9. So you've got 3. And, you know, you could work your way through the history in the way you wanted. Now, yeah, that means tuning and adjusting for every raid boss they've ever had. So that sounds a lot worse than 9 bosses that they picked. But I think that's a more fun idea, and at the very least a more fair idea, especially if they reset them every week, because then you literally could just be like, we're going to just run Magtheridon for a while, and that's all we're going to do. I think that sounds way cooler. That sounds like a celebration of 15 years of WoW. Picking 3 arbitrary bosses from Burning Crusade through Cataclysm sounds weird, honestly. But it's what they...
I now have in my mind, basically you walk into, I don't know, whatever Chromie's version of the holodeck would be. And you have like one of those fighting game screens of pick your boss. And you kind of go through and everything. And then just right there, just dab in the center is random.
I would do that. Oh my goodness, I would do that.
That would be super cool. And maybe you get bonuses for doing random. And
I would get a team together and be like, we're going to go do this easy boss. And then be like, whoops, random. Let's see what happens, guys.
It's Spine of Deathwing. What?
It's fine. Just stay on the opposite sides. No big deal.
That actually sounds damn amazing. I love that idea. Like, not even have to go back into the world. You're just in a magic area. You get your raid team ready. You're like, yeah, let's do this.
Like, how cool would that be if, I mean, they don't even have to put all the bosses in. Like, you know, throw in 15 to 20 bosses or something like that. You know, just, or have, oh, here's this. Okay. Ask the player base what bosses they want. There you go. Now it's like, it's not, oh, it's a Nubarak.
I don't understand that one. Like, that's my...
Oh, it's Troghal. Like, I would taken the Omnitron defense system over almost anything else in Blackwing Descent. That one was so cool. It's like, okay, gotta stand in the arcane puddle, and this is really cool. Okay, get out of everything else. The poison one's out and killed the slime or whatever. Like, I don't even remember everything because there's so much going on. It was just a fun fight. But we get Nefarian. Okay, cool. I mean, that's a different fight. Again, the Blind Dragon would have been, like, hands down, like, the things that I wanted most were out of a, oh my gosh, they're doing old bosses, was Hygen, which I got, which I'm super happy about. And the Blind Dragon. Those are probably, like, for, you know, overall, you know, 25 to 40 man raids. Those are my favorite bosses. At least in, you know, pre-Pandaria. Love that stuff. Man, if they've dug into Pandaria, though, there's so many good things. I saw in the chat room the Cloud Serpent that you have to go back and forth between damaging and healing and stuff. That one was really good. Like, basically anything in Toes was good.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine doing the turtle boss again?
Oh, that'd be so good.
The turtle boss, that level.
Except for not. No. Okay. And anything from Throne of Thunder, I just throw out because I didn't like that raid too much. But that's just me being a curmudgeon.
Maybe I know a lot of Throne of Thunder would be fun if you didn't have to run through the 78 miles of corridors in between each of the bosses.
I would take Throne of Thunder over that Mantid raid that I still can't remember because I did it twice.
Oh, Heart of Fear? Yeah.
Yeah, I did it twice.
Okay, you got a good point there.
Yeah.
I actually prefer the Mantid raid, but I hate Throne of Thunder. I am a very... And look, I understand it's not popular. I saw... Somebody was celebrating an anniversary of Throne of Thunder a while back ago, and like people were like, "Yeah, congratulations on an awesome patch way back in the day." I was like, "Are you kidding? I freaking hate it."
I liked Throne of Thunder, but that was the first tier where I really started to raid again. So that was some good memories.
Yeah.
Just personal. That's why, like, I'm the one that likes Throne of Thunder. Why people like Cataclysm, because it was so.
Well, that's okay.
That.
It's funny though, because that is the exact raid tier that we completely skipped. So this was back during before Flux Mode happened, which was Siege of Orgrimmar. So we did Mogushon Vaults, we did Toes. We're working on that stuff. Like Throne of Thunder's like kind of coming out. We were like, okay, cool. We're doing the Mantid raid and stuff. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, there's this coming, or we could just kind of hold off, because we heard so many horror stories about that turtle boss.
I loved Throne of Thunder. Yeah, that was good memories. But can you imagine doing Siege of Orgrimmar like again?
Oh, I would love that though. We spend so much time in Siege of Orgrimmar, like legitimately working on just Garrosh. I mean, he was a really tough encounter, but we had so much fun with it. And it's one of those things where, you go through and the Flux difficulty was perfect for my raid team. This is, when it was first introduced.
Flex. Yep.
Yeah, we were 2 10-man teams joined together. That's where Fert actually came from. And we, went through, we were working on stuff, got all the way up through, like the Shah was a challenging fight at the time, but we ended up getting it and doing it and stuff. Then just going through and having so much fun, just learning all the different encounters and stuff like that. Like, I can't see that happening with Throne of Thunder. But again, like I said, I'm just a curmudgeon about it and everything. And it was, I've gone back since. I've gotten a mount out of there. I've gotten all the pets out of there. And, eventually I'm going to get that Triceratops mount, and then I'll be good and probably maybe never go back.
Never go back again.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Mist, what I'm excited about, and I think we've talked about this on the show before, me being mad because, like, the Wrathion questline kind of fell.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed the Black Prince spies kind of lurking around? I am stoked.
Oh my gosh. So
I am stoked.
I just did the first quest to get the Dragon Essence from, for your necklace. And so
okay.
I'm going out and doing the quest and everything. I'm like, this is cool. And then I'm going towards the exit, and all of a sudden I see the stealthed, agent of the Black Prince. I'm like, oh.
I was like, wait, was this there back when we did this? And I saw he was level 120. I'm like, oh no, this wasn't. What do you got to say to me? Like, I was so excited because the Wrathion questline's the one that I was so mad that dropped and missed, and then nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Until now.
Exactly. And it's like, it had so much going for it with, the Legion's coming. And then we got Draenor. And we're like, okay. And then the Legion came.
One of the last things Wrathion said is something about, like, this world must be prepared for the fight to come or something. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if that's not what we think it is. Like, we've had the Legion. Now we have the old god that came back with Ashara. Mm-hmm. I have so many, like, we could just do a whole episode on this topic, but I am curious as to what Wrathion's going to bring back and how he's going to be in the story. Are we going good? Are we going Void Lord? What are we doing?
I know. And the thing is like, he's one of at least 2 black dragons that we know, like, that still exist. So
mm-hmm.
there's Tauren guy in High Mountain who's a black dragon, and then Wrathion as well. And the fact that he's coming back. Like, have you seen the new character model for him?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's looking like pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that.
He's grown up.
Exactly.
Like, he's grown up. And, like, when we last had him, he was so emotional. I don't want to say emotional. He was emotional. He was upset at the Horde and the Alliance because they weren't doing the things he wanted. He thought the world had to be like this. I am curious how we're tying in some of the loose strings that I see in the stuff that we know about WoW. So exactly. I'm excited Wrathion's back. I'm excited to see what he brings and how he ties in the story. And are we going Void Lords in maybe a different direction? Because everyone thought Jaina was going to do that. But
exactly. I know, John, what are your thoughts on Wrathion? Welcome back, by the way.
Hi.
We totally changed topics while you were gone.
I noticed. We're not talking about raiding anymore.
Yeah, sorry. We were just having a lot of fun.
That's probably a good idea. People were probably like, John's so mad all the time. So here's why I'm mad at Wrathion.
I hate Wrathion.
Wrathion will always be, like, kind of a special place because he's tied to the rogue legendary item. So you know, there's a bit of a history there between him and fellow rogues. I will say, joking aside, there is a mixed bag element to this, which is what we talked about last week on the show, which is they seem to feel so ready to throw so many new stories at us. Here's another wrinkle. Here's another wrinkle. Here's another character. What about this character? We're bringing this back. Here you are. Now you're over here. Now you're over here. And they're wrapping up nothing. So hopefully the addition of Wrathion means that they can maybe tie up some storylines for once rather than throw more into the air. That would be great, and I hope we see that.
That's really the way it's going, I think, because he had such a big opening back in Pandaria that
Oh my god.
he's coming back, or they're just like, he looks really cool, guys, right? He'll be back in 3 expansions.
Okay, and that's what I want to say before anybody writes their tweets or their emails, okay? Before people are like, what's John on about? Now he's getting mad about Wrathion. We're all excited that Rathion's back because we haven't seen him since freaking, what, Cataclysm? Or was
Pandaria.
it before that?
Pandaria.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
He was tied to your legendary.
No, he was tied to my legendary in Cataclysm.
Mm-hmm.
In Pandaria.
Yeah, the cape in Pandaria.
You played
My
chess to figure out the answer
daggers were in Cataclysm.
We understand that that rogues did a
I knew
special
him
legendary
longer
for that.
than you is what I'm telling you.
You know what? Sometimes knowing someone longer doesn't mean crap.
He's more my friend than he is yours. Anyway, it's been since freaking Pandaria.
Yeah.
Since everybody knew him. And even longer if you've been a rogue.
And he was mentioned in Warlords, in Admiral What's-His-Face's, fort.
Right. So when I tell you that they keep throwing shit in the air and not letting any of it land, this is what I'm talking about. It's been a long time.
I think if they bring back Wrathion, they have a prime opportunity to tie up a lot of those loose ends. I think you can really tie some bows on some packages and put them aside. And if there is a WoW Phase 2 or 2.0 or something in the works, that can slowly start to come in with all this other stuff being nicely put over here.
Right. We can pull it in from the Shadowlands.
I think, oh my gosh, I think they're going to do voids. And I think they're going to, there's so many.
So
I have what I hope.
I'm completely derailing this topic and asking another question here.
Go for it.
Okay, go.
So, do female worgen just not get glowy eyes? Is
what's up with that?
This is just piss off John in multiple ways episode.
But here's the thing. I'm on a show, I'm trying to be entertaining, so I'm maybe boosted up to about 11. I want you to know, nothing we've talked about today has really pushed my frustration or anger past a 5. But, I think the new female worgen models look great.
Oh, they're so good.
I want to say, they don't look like foxes anymore, so congratulations.
And they don't have permanent
You made
snarl
a wolf that looked like a wolf. But... seriously, what the f*** is up with the eyes? Why do guys get glowy eyes and the ladies don't? Did they have a... What?
We're more like Demure and Precious. I don't know.
Why can't...
Aww, as opposed to...
Look,
Yeah.
I'm clearly showing my glowy eye bias by saying they should get glowy eyes, but you know what? It works both ways. Why can't male worgen have non-glowy eyes? Maybe they want their eyes to be normalized.
Well, when they're in the Shadowlands, I mean, we know that the males are not going to be as stealthy. That's all.
I was going to say, the males may be more tuned to their inner beast, so they get glowy eyes, whereas females can, tame their inner animal.
All I'm saying is, look, they did a good job. Congratulations. The worgen models look great. Also, we need more eye options because it's bunk that some get glowy eyes and some don't, and right now that divide is on gender. Glowy eyes for everybody. If one person's eyes glow, everybody's eyes should be able to glow.
Can they just all have googly-eyed? I'd like googly-eyed.
Sure. Throw Ed on there.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Every time you jump, it's... just bouncing around.
That was what the old model looked like.
Oh,
they
right.
Remember the ads where the lady would look at the pine saw and her eyes would pop out of her head? That's what the worgens looked
I do
You
not
never saw
remember
that ad?
Nope.
Don't look it up. It's a freaky ad.
I don't think I want to.
Yeah, like her eyes literally popped out of her head. It looked very worgen-y. Tellenroyd points out in the chat, here's how I know it's okay that I've been rallying a little bit this episode, and that maybe I'm having technical issues, so I'm maybe riding a frustration train a little bit. But he says, can they attack with their claws yet? Yeah, that's the other thing, Blizzard. If I'm going to be a worgen, when do I get to use my claws?
How many expansions now have they been out? Is it Kata?
Since Kata, yeah.
And we still don't. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, let's look at it this way. They're trying to control their bestial wrath. They don't actually want to attack them with their claws. That's what it's all about.
I hate your explanation, Ben.
It's the best I got.
They're a damn werewolf. They should have a transmog option that just is like their mitts. It should just be furry little fists in your inventory.
But not fists.
And you should be able to select it, and then you fight like an actual beast. And you know what? If they want to give it to hunters, they just shoot their little fingernails out at them.
Done. I will totally race change now.
So when you enchant your weapons, do your claws glow then?
Nail polish.
They just do finger guns.
Beep, 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 beep.
You know how werewolves fight.
Obviously, finger guns. Obviously.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everybody knows that. I mean, look at the great werewolf movies, like a pewy werewolf in London. Pew pew.
I get so many angry tweets about how upset I've been on this episode. It's all fine. World of Warcraft's great. It's fine.
Now, John.
Curmudgeon. Yeah. Give me something I'm going to be excited about.
I am just looking forward to you playing your female worgen with glowing eyes, riding on the back of a Deathwing mount that you got just for logging in. And as you fly past something, you swipe at it.
We do get a pet now for the anniversary. It's been a while since we've gotten one of those just given to us.
Oh, we don't have to buy it this year?
I think it said it was you'd get a mail. I thought it said it was in-game mail. Everyone got a pet. I'm pretty sure.
What's the pet?
I have no idea. I looked for a second. It was like, oh, maybe not.
It's a little tiny worgen female with glowing eyes.
It's the only place you can find them. Little baby pet.
Yeah.
Glowing eyes. Love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I saw the revamp. I'm like, this is really cool. I think I might have actually seen a female with glowing eyes as an option. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen every single, change. But I'm just glad that they don't have their, permanent grimace like the old, 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures. It's like,
yeah. They look better.
This one's Michelangelo.
Yeah. Was it?
This one's Donatello. I don't know which one was which. I'm just... Yeah, you can just tell who they were by which side they were going.
Yep.
On.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, it's great. I may have just been... So what you're saying is I may be mad about the glowing eyes and it might be in the game. They might have acknowledged
it might be, but I honestly couldn't tell you.
It's why I used to be if I'm going to be a female worgen, I will be a Death Knight, because that's how I get my glowy eyes.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I saw was a Death Knight. That would make sense. But okay, so last question for the night.
Okay, is this going to be about a topic I can get excited about?
Well, it's not a new topic. I'm going off of worgens here.
Ben, Okay, here's what I want to say.
Okay.
Ben guides this ship. He steers us. He hosts it. I react. I'm basically the children from the Kids React video, all rolled into one person. And Ben is the guy standing there going, what do you think of a Nintendo? And I'm like, this blows my mind, Ben. And that's all that this is. And Ben has done nothing but drive me into icebergs all episode.
Look, I thought the raid was going to be a good discussion. It was a good discussion. It was fun. Oh, he's frozen again. We just lost him.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. I think I heard him. Are you there, John? Hey, there you are.
Hey.
Okay, well, John, the raid thing I thought was going to be an interesting conversation. And you're freezing again. Oh, he changed us to Central. Okay, anyways, you don't even know what's going on.
I don't know if that's going to fix it. I don't know what's going on. My internet has been fine this whole time, but then occasionally it crashes.
And then Twitch just dies too. Yeah, who knows? But anyways, yeah, generally I steer the show. I don't steer it so that you'll be upset. I just think it's, something interesting to talk about. And Turarts is here, and she's always a lovely guest and has really great information and a good viewpoint and stuff. So I'd like to talk about things that we can all enjoy. It turns out that today you didn't enjoy anything, and that's not my fault.
I'm just saying, Ben, you said here's the last thing for us to talk about. You're steering the ship.
Yeah.
Can you steer it somewhere we'll be okay?
Well, yeah, no, it was just a personal question that I was wanting to ask. And I mean, we had 2 minutes left of the show. We've used that up, but I'm still going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
When you make a worgen, do you create using the worgen model, or do you create using the person model?
Are you asking me or Turarts?
I'm asking both of you.
Okay.
Because I'm
Turarts,
curious.
would you like to go first?
The last time I did a worgen, I actually do a little bit of both. I know you spend more time in your worgen self, but I'll get what I like in the worgen or what I think I like, and then I'll switch it to human to see how it looks. Because if the hair, if I, for some reason the hair color ends up being some platinum blonde gray, I only do dark hairs for my people. I'm sorry if you have light hair, but
Turarts hates you.
No, I have dark hair, so I like to represent. I play characters.
I know. I'm kidding.
Represent. Or I go with red. But anyway, I will then, if I don't like something, go back and see if I can tweak the worgen model to then go back to the human and get something I will like. But I'm never a human, so I don't put too much on it. But
gotcha. John, what do you do?
Okay. So I think it's important to build a human first, because I was a human first, right? So I build a human, and then I go, what sort of werewolf does this make? And I judge it. And then I tweak where necessary. There's some things that you can tweak without really impacting the whole thing. All humans look the same. So face kind of doesn't matter that much.
Oh my god!
And so you can mess with the face a little bit, and it's not a big deal. It's a big deal on worgens because worgens are distinct and wonderful creatures. Humans, so
to be fair, John does have face blindness. He can't tell us apart right now. That's just how that works.
Okay, gotcha.
That's right. I just listened to the tone of voice. It's
Perfect.
context clues. It's all context.
Exactly.
Clues. I didn't mean all humans out in the world. I mean, World of Warcraft people all kind of look like Anakin Skywalker. It's fine. So, so you can mess with it a little bit.
The humans do look differently.
So, you get it, and you do a little back and forth. You tweak, but I feel like you should build your human first, because that's your true self. You don't, is it really a worgen curse if you made yourself all pretty as a worgen? It's a curse. But I hate 90% of the worgen ears, so you gotta be careful there, because so many of them are like bat ears. It's
they are. They're just, they don't.
It's so you can
sometimes
hear
I wonder if Blizzard has ever seen a wolf. They just don't know. They're I don't know. I think it's narrow and pointy, like Batman. Yeah, like Batman.
Well,
all right. Well, when I make a worgen, I make the human, and I press play. That's what I do. I don't even see what the werewolf looks like because it's a curse, and I will be what I am.
There you go. That's living with your curse, then. Yeah.
And as of right now, I have 0 worgen characters. They sniff too much, but we've talked about that way too much. Well, not today, but just they sniff too much. Everybody knows that.
Oh, did they fix the sniffing, or is that going to continue to be a problem?
I don't know. We'll find out. In fact, they added more sniffing with the new character models.
Extra sniff.
They just take big whiffs now. Just
well, because they can animate more on the nose. Sometimes you get big sniffs, twitches. Little sniffs,
like bunny twitches.
Right nostril.
It's going
to be sniff.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Azeroth Roundtable, where John was gone half the time.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Not because John was gone, but it's always a pleasure being on with you too.
Well, that's great. We love having you. Until next time you're on, where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Turarts. That's Turarts. I do the stream things sometimes. That's also on Twitch at Turarts. Otherwise in Discord, I am Turarts. It's pretty easy to find me.
All right. Hey, John.
Hi.
If people were curious and wanting to find you, where might they find you?
I don't know, Ben. Apparently my internet doesn't work anymore. I thought I was a modern man, but I guess I'm not.
Oh.
But if you want to try to find me, I guess my phone works sometimes, so you can follow me on Twitter. I can still tweet from that. So, at John_Jagger is where you go there. If you want to catch me talking about video games, good luck, because we didn't record an episode this week, and apparently I don't have internet anymore, so it's done. But normally I would be on Core, which you can find out more about at heroesforyou.com. And finally, if internet gods willing, I will be on There Will Be Dungeons tomorrow playing D&D. You can find out more about that show at therewillbedungeons.com.
Yeah, and you did say you had a phone, so if you want to call John, just dial.
Ben, who is also on my same internet and should have problems if I have not.
I've been having no problems whatsoever.
Well, that came out all muddled to me, but maybe it's my internet again.
Oh, now
Shit, it is my internet again.
Well, anyways, if you're looking for me, you can find me on Twitter. I am at Ben the Mage.
No.
I'm at Ben Bumhofer. And look, now I'm all discombobulated because your internet's going bad. How does that happen? At Ben Bumhofer. Other than that, you can find me on Boxfort. It's a show I do with Eludra where we talk about fun, random, geeky things. I am also on DN Discussions with Ryan, where we talk about making and playing and doing stuff in D&D. And I'm also on +5 to Hit, which is a D&D game that you can listen to right now. Because, it's recorded.
Right.
It's on the internet.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this second.
Now. It's
right
now.
Just gonna roll into that after this.
Exactly, if you want. But this show, though, Azeroth Roundtable, you can always catch us live Friday nights, generally. It's twitch.tv/AzerothRT. We're usually here at 8 p.m. Pacific. Other than that, of course, you can follow us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT on Twitter. You can go to AzerothRoundtable.com. You can find every single episode there, as well as on iTunes, TuneIn, Spotify, Google, fun stuff like that. And if you want to tell us wonderful, wonderful things about how much you love what we said or how much you hate what John said, you can send those emails to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com.
Ben, I'm getting 215 down and 24 up. There's no reason for this.
What's going on?
The only explanation is that the internet connection is too good. And
your computer's like, what?
We can't deal with it anymore. Anyway, clearly I'm going to need some new equipment. So if you want to help out on that front, you can become a patron by going to patreon.com/AzerothRT. It's what keeps the show from breaking down, which who knew we were so close to that happening. A special thank you to those of you who tried to fight this from happening but failed miserably. We thank you for the effort. That's Aaron Birschkauber, Brandon O, Haster, Jesse O, Caleb M, Megan Pye, Shane X, and Taryn. Thank you so much. We'll try and put it to good use and fix this.
First, we're going to go see Mandy, and then we'll put it to good use. Thank you for joining us on Azeroth Roundtable chat room. You were great. Thanks for sitting through the technical difficulties. Turarts, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. And until next time, everybody, be good to each other. Bye now.
Great, we did it. We solved all the problems right here today
Done.
before the show was even going. We can start the show and we can be like, don't worry about it. We solved it.
Yeah, check out the beat while the DJ revolves it.
Whoa!
That was good. Oh my god.
Sorry.
That was unusually cool, Ben. Like, I don't...
Oh my god.
Ben broke John before the show.
I have to clip you giving me a cool compliment there.
That was the coolest you've ever been. Like, all of a sudden, a different person showed up, and I was like, oh, who's this? I want to know them. That was amazing.
Much better than the guy I usually talk to. That guy.
Wow.
Let's talk to Cool Ben.
That was incredible. Jeez.
So what would my cool name be? Because, I mean, if you go with the whole Steve Urkel turns into Stefan, what's my cool persona?
Bender.
So I can only think of Benji, but I don't think that's a cool, that's not.
Yo, Benji here, what up? Yeah,
No.
No.
I just keep picturing the little dog that always got lost.
That's why I never wanted to be called Benji, actually.
But you like dogs.
I do, but I don't want to be a little yappy dog when I'm in elementary school and people are making fun of me.
Well, I mean, dogs are great, though.
Yeah, they are.
He fought a mountain lion, Ben. He's a damn hero.
Yeah, but then when the kid brought the mountain lion and wanted me to fight it, it just it turned
Come
bloody.
on, Benji, live up to your name. Fight this mountain lion, Benji.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it was actually a cougar, and she did not want to fight.
No, they don't know. Yeah, kids. What do they do?
This podcast recorded before a live internet audience. To learn how to listen and watch live, visit tunein.alphageekradio.com.
Azeroth Roundtable is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, Non-Derivative, Unported license. For more information, go to creativecommons.org.